I brought out every single putting training aid that I own. We're gonna do an honest review on every single one of them and give you an idea for which ones are worth it and which ones you should just leave on the shelf and save your money on. So let's get started. With all these reviews and ratings, I'm not gonna include price simply because if it's a better product, then it's gonna be worth the price. So with all that said, let's get to the first aid. The first putting aid we got is by Putt Golf, and question number one, yes, it is portable. It fits in the bag. The positives to this is it's a mirror and it's great for working on your eye line. The negatives to this is it's a one-trick pony. It's only gonna help you with eye line. There's nothing to help you with the putter gate, and there's nothing to help you with your start line. This thing also moves around a lot because there's nothing really to hold it down. There's a couple slots in the back to put tees, but if you put it in the forward hole, the tee gets in the way of your backstroke, so you really can only put it in the very far hole, which still allows it to move around a little bit. The putter also slides on the surface of the mirror, which is a little bit frustrating if you're not someone who hovers the putter, and it also scratches very easily. I put a pretty big scratch on the side of this thing. And mine isn't warped, but I've seen a lot of people have them that get warped because it's simply a piece of plastic that is reflective. So if you're looking to work on your eye line, this is something you can use, but there's definitely better options out there. Putting aid number two is by Putt Out, and yes, it is portable just like the last one. It fits in your golf bag easily. Now for the positives, this is a mirror, so it is great for working on your eye line. It also has a textured bottom to make sure it doesn't move around when you're using it. This is something I am really worried about because when I am putting and I line it up, I want to make sure it is aligned the entire time. They do have a couple holes in the back to use tees for to really secure it, but honestly, the textured bottom makes it so it doesn't move at all, so you don't have to worry about that. It also comes with two magnetic blocks that you can use as putter gates, which is a good concept, and it also comes with a start line gate, which is great, but you do have to line it up yourself. The negatives is the putter slides a lot on this mirror surface, so again, if you're not a hover putter, the putter is going to slide around. The blocks also move very easily, so if you want to have a fairly tight putter gate, it's honestly tough just to get the putter in between the two without having it move. So honestly, I don't even use it because it's more annoying than anything. Also, the start line gate moves every time you clip it, and you need to align it. So that's something that's a little bit frustrating unless you're hitting the putts perfect every time. You're going to have to adjust everything quite a bit. The third putting aid we got is a yardstick. And I know what you're thinking, Darren, this isn't a putting aid, but a lot of people use this as a drill, and I wanted to include it, and it's my video, so I'm going to. As you can imagine, yes, it is very portable. It can go in the slots where you do put your clubs, so you don't have to worry about that. The positives for this is it's great for working on start line. They have a nice little hole at the back of it. You can put the ball in the center of the ruler every time, and you can get some immediate feedback. If you hit it down the ruler and it doesn't fall off the sides, you hit a good putt, and if it rolls off the sides, you hit a poor putt. Some of the negatives for this is it's another one-trick pony. It's really only going to help you with start line. It does warp fairly easily due to heat. Must be used on a perfectly level surface, and honestly, I wish this was reflective. If I want to work on eye line and head movement, I need it to be reflective, but unfortunately it's not. Moving on to our fourth aid, we have the Pelz Golf Putting Tutor, and yes, you can see this is portable, fits in the bag, has its own little case, so you don't have to worry about that. For the positives, it's great for working on start line. It does have a nice little dot in the back to make sure the ball is in the same spot every time to start. It has 3 levels to make sure the start line gate is as easy or as difficult as you'd like. You can put some marbles in these little slots to make it wider or smaller. You can also match the edge of your putter with the trail edge of the plate to make sure your putter is aligned properly. And finally, the lines next to the ball help with eye line. The negatives to this is there's only one prong in the back to try and help it not move. So essentially, this training aid moves every time you hit a putt. At least that's my experience. There's no holes in the plate to help you secure it to the ground. So that is one frustrating thing. Every time I hit a putt, this thing tends to drift one way or the other. So you have to align it a lot. It is a fairly thick plate too, which is something I don't like because I'm trying to hit a ball that is raised up more than normal. I know this is a very small difference, but in my opinion, I'd rather have a plate that's either very thin or that I'm already putting on the surface, so I don't have to change my putting stroke at all. Sometimes I even hit this putting plate because it is so thick, which is honestly a little bit frustrating. And again, ideally it would be reflective. If I want to work on eye line and head movement, that would be something beneficial. These two lines kind of help with eye line, but I also want to work on head movement, so I'd rather have this thing reflective. Now onto the Y-Golf putting plate. Yes, this is very portable, fits inside the bag, comes in a little case, so you don't have to worry about that. The positives, there's an adjustable putter gate. It goes from 0 to 6, so you can match your putter width. It also has an adjustable ball gate that goes from 0 to 4, so you can make it as easy or as difficult as you'd like. The ball gate is also fixed, which means it's always aligned properly, which is great. And it comes with a rail that's going to help you align the training aid. Essentially, you can make any type of stroke you'd like, and the ball is going to roll straight down where it's aiming, so you can be confident that the training aid is aimed properly. It has a couple holes to help you secure the plate to the ground with some tees. It also has a rubber strip in the back, so it makes sure your putter does not slide, which is something that I find really important if you're not a hover putter. The ball is also on the ground the entire time, which is great because I don't like having the ball sit up too high, and I'm not worried about hitting the training aid with my putter. And also there's a couple slits by the ball to help with eye line. Some of the negatives are there are spikes on the bottom of this to try and help it avoid moving without tees, but it wasn't executed properly, so the spikes aren't exactly good enough to make the aid not move without securing it down. Also, the putter gate is made of plastic, so they can break. I did break one fairly easily, didn't even know it. I put it in the side of my bag, I came back, it was broken. The case isn't good enough to really avoid that, so that's something you have to kind of pay attention to, is being really cautious with this. I wish I could just throw it in my bag and not have to worry about it, but it is made of plastic, it can break. And again, ideally this thing would be reflective because I want to work on eye line and head movement, and this thing isn't reflective. All I have is those two slits, which again can help with eye line, but I'd rather it be reflective. That would make it a little bit better in my mind. And finally, we got short game gains. And is it portable? Well, kind of is. It doesn't fit in the golf bag, but it comes in a nice briefcase, so again, kind of portable. The positives to this, it's stainless steel putting mirror, which is two-sided. It comes with a shoulder mirror that doubles as a secondary start line option, and it has marbles that you can work on your start lines, and they have two little spots so you know the marbles in the same spot every time. There's slots for the tees so you can create a putting gate, and this thing is heavy enough where you don't have to worry about it moving around when you're using it. The ball is also on the ground the entire time, so again, it's not super thick. I don't have to worry about hitting the training aid, and the ball's on the ground, which is something I just like in training aids. It's reflective, so it's going to help you with your eye line, and it's going to help you with your head movement. It's got a rubber strip in the back to help avoid your putter sliding, and it comes with a bunch of other training aids, being a third start line option, being a gate. It's got a couple ghost holes, it's got some cup reducers, it's got some chalk lines, and it's got a start line string. These are all positives, extra things to help you work on your putting and help you improve. These were designed by two professional golfers, so if there's anyone that was going to know what a player needs to get better, it was these two, so that's why this training aid is so good. Some of the negatives here, I'm just getting a little nitpicky, is I wish there was a fixed or easily attached putting gate just to make sure it's always aligned properly and consistent. Basically, I'm just being lazy. You can put two tees in there and do the same thing, but the nice thing about the Y-Golf one is it's always on there and you just click it on to the size you want. So I'm just being lazy with that one. And also, I wish it fit in the golf bag. If I want to go hit a couple practice putts before a round, I don't want to have to bring this whole briefcase out there. They do make a smaller version of this, but I don't have it, so I'm not going to include it in there. Now that we've finished all the reviews, let's get to the rating. We're going to go from worst to best. Starting with worst, we're going to have the yardstick. Because this is a one-trick pony, I think something really important with a training aid is you want to be able to work on eye line and a couple other things. This only helps you with start lines, so that's why it is the first one. The second one we're going to go with is the Pure Shot putting mirror. This is also a one-trick pony, but I think is a little more important to work on eye line and head movement than simply just working on start line. You can add tees to this putting mirror and work on your start line there. So that is why I have this thing picked as number 2. Number 3, I've got the Pelz Golf putting tutor. This is because, one, it is a little too thick and I don't like that I can hit it every time. It also only has one spike to make it not move, so it does move quite a bit, and I wish it would have been reflective because I also want to work on eye line and head movement. It does a couple more things than the Pure Shot and the Yardstick did, but there's definitely room for improvement, so that's why it is at number 3. Number 4 is the Putt Out putting mirror. This thing's great because you can work on eye line and you can work on head movement. The downside to this is the putting gates that it adds on there move way too easily. If they could make those secure, this would be a lot better score and a lot better position, but that is something I don't like. The textured bottom is a great add, doesn't move around at all, and the start line gate is also a great add, but if that was fixed, it would be even better. So that is why it's at number 4. Number 5, we're moving on to the putting thing by Golf. The rail is awesome. I like that the putting gate is fixed. I like that the ball gate is fixed. What I don't like is it does move around a little bit if you don't secure it with tees, and the gates can break because they are plastic, and I also wish this thing was reflective. Honestly, in my opinion, if this was reflective and the gates didn't break, this would be an almost perfect product, but there's a couple places to improve in my mind, so that's why it is not at number 1. And as you can imagine, short game gains was going to be number 1 because it's just got so much stuff. The only downside to it is it's not going to fit in the bag. It's not as portable, but it does everything you could need to practice putting, whether it's mirrors, whether it's with the string, whether it's with the chalk line. Anything you could ever do in putting, any drill you could ever imagine, you could do it out of this case. So that's why I picked this as number 1. If you're thinking this is unfair, yes, it might be because it has so many extra things, but this does come in one case that you can purchase, so that's why I put it all as one training aid. So with all that said, I have all my ratings and all my rankings, but let me know in the comments if I got it right. Which one do you think is best? Which one do you think is worst? Do you agree with my rating? So let me know what you think. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.